Adopted children have special needs and considerations that are important as we're trying to bring about change in the lives of those children. God has a special place in his heart for adopted kids. I like the story of the two children. One was adopted, one biological in the same family. And the adopted child says to the biological one, "You came out of mommy's tummy, but I came from mommy's heart." I like that idea. I think that adopted kids are really special. They do have challenges. I believe that every child who's adopted has some heart damage just by the very nature of the fact that they're being raised by someone different than the one who bore them. And that creates some damage, especially in the area of the conscience. In 4 areas of the conscience, they have a hard time being responsible and doing what's right. They have a hard time dealing with wrongs. That's a big one because of self-concept issues and admitting that they've done something wrong. They have a hard time with integrity often, with lying, stealing, and so on. And then sometimes, not always, they have a hard time in the compassion area, being empathetic and caring about other people. That's somehow the conscience gets broken. It's part of the trust that takes place when we bond with a child, and that bonding process gets broken. And so it's important to be able to work with these children. And what we do in our heart-based approach is systematically go through the heart to rebuild it, helping children develop these internal things, activating the conscience, retraining it, doing some powerful things to bring about change. I think that working with adopted children is a privilege. My wife and I adopted 2 children in our family, Megan and Elizabeth, and they're a treasure in our lives. They always have been since they came into our family just before they turned 4 years old. What a blessing to use your home as a ministry vehicle so that you can be, I call it home missions, where you're doing missions at home and God can use you in a powerful way to reach these kids by adopting them. So I encourage you to get involved in adoption if you aren't already involved. It's a lot of work. It's very heartbreaking sometimes. It's a long-term ministry in the lives of those kids, but it pays off greatly because you're doing the work that God does and he cares for those people who are adopted and homeless and fatherless and so on. So powerful work. You know, I say to adopted kids, can I stay close to you? When I look in the Bible and I see people who grew up in alternative situations like Esther and like Joseph and like Moses and like Daniel, and I see that God had something very special planned for their lives. And maybe if I can stay close to you, then some of the blessing that comes down on you would rub off on me too. I love working with adopted kids, parents who have adopted children. It's a tremendous opportunity, but it does require a lot of work. And I believe a strategic approach, a heart-based approach. You can learn a lot more about that from my master course that I've developed. And you can learn more about it at biblicalparenting.org/masterclass. 38 modules of very important ways to think about theology, of parenting, and then the whole strategy idea of moving a child from one place to another, and then practical ideas. So check it out. God bless you guys. You continue to work with your children.